Hey guys, it is Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. We are going to continue our look at Whole Lotta Rosie with Angus Young's first guitar solo here. We're going to take a look at the next guitar solo in the next video. So this one's a beast, as you can already see. Before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And even if you are subscribed to the channel, make sure you ring that little notification bell. When you do that, then you'll be sure to get all of my latest video releases, which happen every week. So jump on it. So we are still in standard tuning here. We've got a lot of crazy stuff to get to, so let's jump right into it. We're going to start here with this first lick. So it starts with the 7th fret on the D string. Then you're going to slide into that note. Then 5-7 on the G. And when you get to that 7, you're going to bend it up. And then play 7-5. And then you're going to play that 5 a few times, just with the kind of staccato feel. Kind of cut it off each time. And resolve it back to that 7 on the D string. So here we go. All right, the next phrase sounds like this. All right, so this starts with a quick little note on the 5th fret of the G string, and then into a bend at the 8th fret on the B string. He picks that a few times though. He'll pick that 8 a few times, and then we have this. So this is kind of the same lick that's just going across just the A minor pentatonic scale there. So kind of to start on the top note, when the after the bend, we have this, play the 5th fret on the high E, then pull off 8-5 on the B, over to 7 on the G. Then we're basically do the same lick, but now starting from the B string. So those notes within that scale form on the B string would be the 5th fret on the B, 7-5 on the G, over to 7 on the D. So it's kind of the same lick done twice. And then we're just gonna hang out. When you get there, you're gonna go back to the 7th fret on the G string, go 7-5, over to the D string again, 7th fret, and then do that same thing again. So far from the top note. And then we're going to go to the 5th fret on the D, to the 7th fret, really lightly there on the A string, and he lightly hits the 5th fret on the G too. So we have this. And we're going to end that phrase on the 5th fret of the D string, once again playing kind of staccato with, and then one of the, like the second to last one, he does like a little bend on it. All right, now we have the next lick, which is a lot of fun. All right, that's pretty fun. All right, so now when you see him play live, he does this everywhere, but on the album it's back here. He really kind of improvises all around this thing. I've never seen him play it like the album live, so any live videos I've checked out. So we're kind of on our own here. So we're gonna go 5, 4, 2, just repeated on the G string. It's a good little synchronization exercise. And then you're gonna slide up the B string to the 15th fret and back down. All right, and then go back to that little synchronization exercise, and then you're going to slide up to the 17th fret on the B and back down. So, and it doesn't really matter if you miss the fret when you're going up there, like I just did. It's not like an exact science that he's doing there. All right, now the next lick is pretty crazy, and it sounds like this. All right, so that's all over the place. So, so I'm going to start here with the 11th fret on the high E and pull off 10 to 8. Over to 10 on the B string, back to the 8 on the high E. And then go back to that 8th to 10th fret on the B. So we have this. And then you're going to jump back to the 7th fret on the B string. 7, hammer, 8, pull back off to 7. Over to the 9th fret on the G, back to that 7. So we have this. And then you're going to kind of slide down to the 7 on the G, 5, then 7, 5 on the D. Then end it with that 5th fret on the G, right there. Then we're going to jump up here. We're going to pull off, you're going to hit that top note, 17th fret on the high E a couple times. Then pull off 17 to 15. Over to 17 on the B, back to 15 on the high E. Then you're going to pull off 17 to 15 on the B twice. Now from here, you're going to jump up. Now we can do this here, but to me it seems like because he does this lick a lot, and he doesn't. This kind of like you're going to see this later on. So it feels more natural to do this second half of it, of this lick, up here. So that's just up. So jump up 2 frets, this 17th fret there on the G, and then the 19th fret on the D. Roll over to the G string 19th fret, back to the D string 19th fret. So you're back to the 19th fret there, and then end it there with that 17th fret on the G. So we have this all together real slow. All right, so hopefully you got that together. And then we have this next. So that's kind of similar to what we did earlier. You're gonna be back at this 8, it's an A note here. It's at the 10th fret of the B string. And what he's doing here is kind of going through the scale with these kind of random legato patterns. This is the kind of thing that's really hard to get note for note. So let me just show you the notes he's using first. It's 10, 8, 7 on the B, then 9, 7, 5 on the G. So he's just, what I would suggest, to start doing like these hammer-ons, and then kind of slide down to the next one. And here, when you're going across, you have to pick the 9 to the 7, back to the 9. And then kind of do whatever you want there. Kind of. Then when he gets down here, he does the 7, 5 to 7 on the D, back to 7 on the G. And then he does a standard kind of blues, which is just the bend of the 7th fret there on the B, sorry, the G string. And then roll the 5th fret from the B to the high E, pull off 8 to 5 on the B, and then 7, 5 on the G. And he kind of ends the phrase there. And then we get to that section where he's kind of, him and Malcolm are kind of doing. So Malcolm's playing what's in the intro there. Those big power chords. But live, Angus plays along with those power chords too. So he'll play his little lick, which is just, it's kind of palm muted. Just 7 on the D, 5 on the G, back to 7 on the D, 7 on the G. So back to the D. He keeps going back to the D string. So that's basically what you. So you're just playing these notes here, but you're starting with the D and you keep going back to the D string, that 7th fret. So. However you want to play that. I'm playing that note with my pinky. And then you can play the intro chords there, and then don't forget to slide into that first note. So after you do it 6 times, the 7th time is when he doesn't do those little chords. It just does. So it's kind of, he brings the dynamics down, but he just repeats the lick again and again without the chords in between. That 4th time is when he brings it back up. Then we have this. All right, so that's coming out. His 7th fret on the D, then we're going to go down the D string here. We're going to go 5. And then it's going to be completely chromatic after that. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Then 4 on the A string, 3, 2 to the power chord. Got a lot of vibrato on there, by the way. And you're going to end that there with the 5th fret there on the G. And then the last phrase of this solo looks like this. All right, so probably the most random lick in this entire thing, that's the hardest to pick up, is this lick leading up. So basically, what you can make the notes out is. So we're going to slide into the 9th fret there on the A string, hammer 7 to 9 on the D, pull back off to 7. Then play 10 on the A string. That note sounds a little bit out of key. So then we go hammer on 7 to 9 on the D string, then slide 7 to 9 on the G, and hammer the 11. So we have this so far. I'm sorry. All right, from there, we have a hammer 10 to 12 on the B, pull back off to 10, over to 12 on the G, back to that 10. That's it. Quick there. And then we have pretty much the same lick we did here, but now it's at 13, 12, 10 on the B string. So live, a lot of times he just jumps up here and it doesn't ever do it down here, he just does it here. Then slide it down, and then we have this, which is just a couple bends at the 15th fret on the B. Release to 13 on the B, and then you have that bend there on the 15th fret of the high E string. All right, and then he'll have, I mean, he does kind of a bunch of crazy stuff, all sliding up and down the high E string and stuff. All right, now stay tuned for the next video. We're going to take a look at Angus's outro solo. I'll see you then.